Cities are where most people live because opportunities, businesses and jobs are more concentrated in urban areas. However, migration to urban areas puts pressure on existing infrastructure, basic services and human settlement plans, among other things. Kenya's capital, Nairobi City, which is my home, is no different.
Every year, the city attracts hundreds of thousands of people hoping for positive change in their lives. But despite all the investment in urban development, the city is really feeling the strain.
The city of Nairobi is struggling, of course, compared to other African cities it fits, but in terms of what is expected of good urban development, it's very, very far away from expectation.
Kenya's national government has proposed several possible approaches to help Nairobi residents secure affordable housing. But Professor Omenya believes most of the city's current housing is not designed with the needs of Nairobi's residents in mind.
Around 70% of Nairobi's housing stock is informal, with no basic infrastructure and services. The quality is quite bad. And then there are also other dimensions like the location of those particular houses. There's quite a lot of that housing that is outside of the metropolitan area, while majority of people work, within the metropolitan area.
With a population of over 4 million people, food sustainability is seen as one of Nairobi's priorities.
However, growing food in the city can be difficult. The population is growing and the farms are shrinking.
Because of this, the city is now seeking new ways to feed its growing population in areas which were once described as impossible places.
We started our demo garden to supplement feeding program for the elderly in community, sickly and also the disabled. It takes minimal time compared to the traditional kind of farming. It also produces a lot of weeds compared to the traditional farming. We are making a huge step towards food sustainability, not only in production but also in market linkages. Our farmers are currently growing colored capsicums, that is red and yellow, and they're also doing tomatoes in large scale. So the idea is not feeding Kibera community alone. So it's definitely a way to go for small spaces in Nairobi.
Urban farming has indeed become a means to increase access to locally grown food. Enough about producing food for people to eat. Nairobi and Kenya are in transition. It's investing and adopting e-mobility as the world races towards a future dominated by technology and green energy.
As the city grows, as motorcycles increase, to just make sure the adoption of EVs, taking an ampersand motorcycle or another EV motorcycle is critical so that actually we start reducing our carbon emission. This is a perfect example. We have a 7 kilowatt station, our panels are on our roof, and that's what we're using to charge our station. For every motorcycle we have on the road, we have 1.5 batteries. So at any given time, for every 2 customers, we have an extra battery that when they come to our station, we're able to swap. So when the customer comes in, the first thing is we check the battery that we give to the customer is actually matching the motorcycle that actually we give to the customer. Once we do that, we initiate the process of swapping using an app, and they only pay for exactly the energy that they consumed on the battery. Within 2 to 3 minutes, the driver is out on their way.
All these developments have been facilitated by an upgrade in infrastructure. Recent partnerships between the Kenyan and Chinese governments have spurred growth across a city that suffers from chronic traffic jams and pollution. An example is the China-funded and constructed expressway. This has reduced the 28-kilometer commute between Nairobi's main international airport and the city's economically important western suburbs from 2 hours to 20 minutes. So what's next for the city?
All developments that we have within the city must follow development control and must follow plans.
Chamgono, CGTN.